Welcome to the Butts in the Seats podcast, episode number 129. No, wait, it's episode 130.
Hell yeah, brother. Finally, it is shot time. And I feel like it came at a good time because it's also a pay-per-view episode.
It is. Although, I guess mild spoilers, this show did make me want to, reach for the liquor, so...
It didn't, actually, yeah.
The build it made me want to, but,
Yeah. Remember how many times I begged for a shot in the last 7 to 10 episodes?
Here's to the build to Fall Brawl 2000.
To Fall Brawl. Cheers, everyone. Ooh, that was autumnal.
Was it?
Okay, so I made a shot. Tonight, I made the shot. Usually, Nick makes it. I made a combination of whipped vodka, butterscotch schnapps, and coffee cake creamer.
Yes.
I think it was delicious. I was going for an autumnal vibe.
Yes, and Emily, what was your first choice for an autumnal vibe?
Fireball?
No, it was Jack Daniel's Winter Jack Cider.
Hey, it's closer. It's better than me being like, let's do a shot of summer shandy, and being like, it's fall. No.
It's literally the same amount of seasons away.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Winter is closer to fall than summer is to fall.
They are literally a day apart.
Disagree. For vibes, disagree. Anyway, that was delicious.
Well, yes, we're here today to talk about the final ever Fall Brawl. It's Fall Brawl 2000. Woo! NXT hasn't dug this one up yet.
Give it a couple of years. I'm sure they'll come up with a reason.
I don't think they have now. I'm like, have they?
I don't know.
I think they just started calling it...
They took Halloween Havoc, and that was...
Well, they did, but they also just kind of took War Games, because... We didn't get one last year. Fall Brawl is normally when War Games happens.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, we got our fake one on Nitro, the build to this.
Yeah, I feel like NXT just took Halloween Havoc because it's a better theme for a pay-per-view. So, Nick, what are we really going to be diving into today?
As mentioned, final ever Fall Brawl takes place on September 17th, 2000 from Buffalo, New York.
Did you know if you say Buffalo 9 times in one sentence, it's a full sentence?
I think we've referenced that.
Buffalo, 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 Buffalo.
There's actually one other word that is similar to that.
Fuck?
No. So it's not like a sentence thing, but Johnny the Bull goes on to become this named Relic. And Emily, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Relic is killer spelled backwards.
Why didn't I knew this was gonna be fucking... After I was so caught off guard at your last Relic joke, I'm on edge for it now.
So the attendance for Fall Brawl 2000 was about 8,600. No shocker, only half paid.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't want to make a whole song and dance of it, but Price is Right. What do you think? Hold on. Before you guess, I need you to know, when you do that, you don't sound like Price is Right. You just sound like Blue's Clues.
I love that. Hey, what was Bob Barker's big thing? Spay and neuter your pets.
Oh God.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna guess low. Give me the last year, this year. All
right. So actually, I'll go 2 years back first. In 1998, this would have been the pay-per-view right before we started.
Okay.
It did 275,000 buys. Last year, it did 130,000 buys. How'd it do in 2000?
I'm going to say it stays in the six figures.
You would be incorrect.
No! I was going to say like 100,000.
Yeah, I don't know if any of them hit six figures going forward. I think we are firmly in the five-figure thing.
All right. Is it in the 90s?
It is 75,000 buys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty on par with most of the rest of these shows.
That's even lower than my lowball guess was going to be. My guess was going to be like 85.
Again, it's still better than TNA ever did. Or I guess maybe not ever. They might have had one. I know. TNA and ECW are just weird to find buy data for. And like, there's one ECW show where it's like, oh man, it did 99,000 buys. And I'm like, That just sounds so fake.
Did it?
Because I'm like, I feel like you would have said 100,000 if it got that close.
Is it one of those things where because they were so small, they only reported if it was over 100,000? So if they said it was 900,000 or 99,999 buys, then they didn't have to like report it.
Look, I'm not going to claim to know how the reporting of pay-per-view shit works. I mean, to this day, the only place I could find like reliable ECW buy rate info was a now, I guess, archived page on the OSW website.
Oh, shit.
And it's archived because they got hacked and they went, no one uses our website, so we're not going to fix it.
OSW, we use your website.
No, somebody on Twitter helped me out with the like, basically using Internet Archive for that. I was like,
okay.
Thanks. But yeah, 75,000 buys. So,
yikes.
Yeah. Look, they're still doing a round of 3 on television, so it just, they're not enticing people to want to buy the shows.
I don't blame them.
Because the ratings are down, but like I don't feel like they're down. They're down bad, but they're not down dramatically from this time last year to where it's like.
You just told me that Fall Brawl last year did 130,000 buys.
I'm saying TV ratings.
Oh, TV ratings.
That's my point. Is that like ratings are down a bit from last year, but they're not down by half. Down by half from like couple of years ago, but like yeah, you've just told people, no, don't buy our shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yikes. I mean, I don't blame them.
I have a handful of backstage notes because it's pay-per-view. It's like, okay, most of them either tie into matches or we'll just go over on the next episode of Nitro. Okay. There was a Miss WCW pageant this past week in Vegas. They hyped this because they were selling tickets for Halloween Havoc, and they're like, we're going to do a thing. And
I missed the Miss WCW pageant.
Yeah, we mentioned it in relation to the Miss NWO pageant.
Oh, wow. I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, actually, listeners may not have heard it because I cut most of it because I had a backstage note wrong with this. Because Pamela Paulshock makes people upset at one of these types of shows. It's not this one.
Oh.
Because this one had Nitro Girl Shay beating Tori Wilson, Major Guns, Baby, Chiquita, Medeja, who I guess returned early, and Stacy Keibler, who was, I guess, still around.
Huh.
And people noted that it was, interesting that she won because she happens to be dating Kevin Nash.
Interesting.
This is in the brief period where him and his wife are separated. They end up getting back together.
Oh, okay. I think I forgot that Kevin Nash was married at this point.
Yeah, he's married, like, minus the separation, I think he's still married from
the same girl?
From like mid-90s.
Okay. I have opinions, but I think they're positive.
I could give you 100 guesses on who was apparently a celebrity judge for the Miss NWO bikini contest. They're not Miss NWO.
Same vibe. Miss WCW.
Yes.
Is it? No, it can't be Donald Trump because Donald Trump is such a Vince guy.
I think like Vegas show comedian vibe.
Vegas show comedian early 2000s.
When you break it down like that, when I say it, you won't be surprised, but it's like I don't think you would have guessed it.
I don't know.
Carrot Top.
Yeah, you're right. I would never have guessed Carrot Top.
We mentioned Kevin Nash. Apparently on the pre-show, he cut a promo talking about how he was hungover from the night before, basically going, hey, I'm not 100%, so I might lose tonight.
Cool.
And there is a person on the hard cam wearing like just normal clothes, but like a luchador mask.
Yes.
Surrounded by a bunch of like older people.
Yes, I pointed this out because I saw the line of like older, elderly women and this one luchador, and I was like, that is not the target demographic for WCW.
Yes, he was wearing a Destroyer mask who was a wrestler in the 60s and 70s, and it's him. It's the guy.
Oh, shit.
I'm the guy.
So the age of the women next to him kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So if he wrestled in the 60s and 70s, the man is pushing like...
Yeah, if you're still in the
elder.
60s, let's call him 20 in 1965.
It is now 1999. 2000.
2000, yeah. It's 35 years later, so... Actually, he wouldn't be that old, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was popular then. Who the hell knows when... I did not look into Destroyer, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Wow. Because, like, this whole, like, line of people on the hard cam, they don't, like, jump and don't get excited for the show at any point. Not that many people do. But I was like, this does not feel like the right demo for a WCW pay-per-view.
And now it's time for a weather report. Yes, it's time for us to recap Thunder.
Tell me about it, stud.
Jeff Jarrett immediately kidnaps Miss Jones.
Jesus Christ.
So,
I can't resist a kidnapping.
Spoilers for somewhere on this show. Vince Russo's back, and I really should have known from this.
From the kidnapping?
Yeah. And when they come out to the ring, the definition of commentators not having chemistry. Tony Schiavone and Stevie Ray. Tony Schiavone going, why do they have Miss Jones? Going like, all right, what's their plan or scheme here?
What's the story?
Stevie Ray, they kidnapped her, Tony.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like,
Stevie, how are you still employed, man?
You know what vibe? They give the vibe of the two commentators from Dodgeball. Just, right, you are, Pepper.
Yes. Oh, no.
But Miss Jones is just being held like barely by the wrist or not at all, and she just stands there. She goes along with like a
yes, I'm
skit,
kidnapped.
like Jeff Jarrett pinning her on the match on Monday. She just goes along with it, doesn't she? I'm like, what are you doing, girl?
Girl, love yourself.
David Flair has a new gimmick. It's basically doing "Are You My Mother?" but instead, "Are You the Father?"
Well, no, is this new though? Because before he was back with Stacy. And he was like with Daphne and Crowbar. He was doing like the schizophrenia. That was his whole thing.
Yeah, but no, he's literally going to everyone backstage. Actually, sorry, he's not doing the argument with her. He's pulling a Charlie Kelly in the fucking Christmas episode of
Did you fuck my mom?
Did you fuck my mom, Santa Claus? Did you fuck Stacey Keebler, Santa Claus?
Did you fuck my mom?
But yeah, he's just going around. He assumes everyone's the father.
Sure.
And we'll get some of that on the show for some fucking reason.
Why not?
Yeah, we do get a Nitro segment in the middle of this show.
Sure.
We're going to jump around a little bit. They do a main event tag match for the world title. It ends in a DQ, so nothing of consequence.
Sure.
But hypothetically, they were going to put the title on somebody else because it would also like, oh, Steiner's Nash's partner. If he pins someone, he's the champion. But,
they're not going to do that on Thunder.
Yeah. Goldberg came out. I say DQ. I don't even remember if it was DQ or just a no contest. It's like, oh, nope, just fuck you for watching.
Fuck you for thinking something might happen.
Context for this show, we do get Sting versus Jeff Jarrett. Sting won by making Jarrett pass out. There's no ref in the ring, but like Sting is like, he's passed out, call for the bell. So Sting like declares himself the winner and is now like the number one contender for Nitro.
Where was the referee?
He got bumped.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Love that spot.
So yeah, we'll touch on this later, but like that is some crucial context for that segment.
Yeah.
Mike Awesome is back to having his bus, but he's mad about the Natural Born Thrillers messing up like the grill. And I'm like, well,
that's valid, yeah.
Well, Goldberg kind of did, but I guess they were going to murder him, so blame the Thrillers.
That's valid, though. I don't even think that's part of the character. Like, you fucked up my car.
The Filthy Animals seem very ready to kick Disco to the curb.
Good.
He has a tag match, and he's like, I need a partner, and everyone's busy or hurt. Because Conan's like, yeah, I'm not cleared. He wrestles tonight, by the way. But he ends up teaming with Tigress and then abandons Tigress 2-on-1. They're like,
great.
Yeah. And then during that match, Mark Jindrak willingly takes a face full of stuff. And I
face full of stuff?
I thought it was meant to be pervy of like, yeah, do it. But he literally just like gets back up and it's like, no, that's not a real move, and just power bombs Tigress. I'm like, Jesus.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, that wouldn't hurt that bad.
No, because it's not much of anything.
Yeah, like, be different if you are doing tailbone to the face,
sure.
But if you're doing it to the chest, like, yeah, but still, yeah, it just, that fucking move. Fucker. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm early for my sighing note. Pamela Paulshock took over briefly as ring announcer when the non-WO attacked Dave Penzer.
Sure.
And they actually put her through the fucking broadcast audio for a bit. I'm like, how dare you?
Oh my.
And then they stopped halfway through the show.
Yeah, that tracks. Good for her. Get her little moment.
Yeah. We then get the Lava Lamp Lounge with Major Guns.
Oh. The Lava Lamp Lounge is Mike Awesome, right?
Yeah.
And Major Guns is Canadian.
Yeah.
Great.
So this basically turns into fucking porn dialogue. It's so bad. Like, Mike Awesome literally gives her a massage and she's moaning like, yes. Like,
does she get stuck in a washing machine?
You know, if they had one, she might have.
Help me, step Mike Awesome.
Jeff Jarrett in a costume comes out to
Oh.
break up, just like some like ring work or whatever. He comes out, attacks Awesome, and then says that next week will be Slapnuts Theater.
Theater, hell yeah.
Speaking of Major Guns, despite her being on the line on this show, they do a tag match for the custody of her
Sure.
on Thunder.
Sure.
And they're like, all right, retired Jim Duggan's going to be in the match.
What?
Yep, he retired on Monday, so let's have him wrestle on Wednesday.
Damn.
He is attacked off camera before the match, so he's not actually in the match.
But still, that might be the soonest post-retirement match on record.
We actually got a funny segment of some guy and his kid find Nash and Steiner backstage, like, hey, can we get a photo? And Nash like, well, how much fucking money you got?
Wait, don't we see that on the pay-per-view too?
We get a different version of it.
Okay.
Because Nash is like, well, you know, like how much is this worth to your kid? Come on. The dad has $40, and he's like, okay, that's it. Come on. So they go to the photo, and Steiner flexes, and his bicep is entirely blocking the kid's
Team
face.
Mike Wazowski's the kid?
Yes.
That's good. I took a picture with Scott Steiner.
We get a sit-down interview with Mike Tenay and Ric Flair. They note that he is retired.
Ric Flair is retired?
Yeah, he
Huh?
lost the whatever match to Russo, but it won't stick all that long, I don't think.
Yeah, no kidding.
And they start planting, oh, is Rick the father of Stacy's baby?
This isn't starting, though. This was planted pretty immediately, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, like, they ask him point blank, and again, this will come up later, but Flair basically is like, this is a bunch of Russo bullshit. I don't want to talk about this.
This is dumb.
The Filthy Animals came out to their usual theme, but I swear, during the entrance, you could hear through the mics of commentary, there is a different song playing.
Really?
So I'm like, the
it
mystery
dubbed?
the mystery continues.
Interesting.
During that match, Tony says to Disco, if you have to say something, talk in sound bites.
Sure. That tracks, though. I mean, Tony Schiavone's just here for a job, so if you're going to talk to me, you better make it worthwhile for my job.
They did Chronic versus the Harris Brothers versus the Filthy Animals in a three-way, and the Filthy Animals just had a commentary, didn't do anything in the match, and the Harris Brothers then killed Bryan Adams with a baseball bat wrapped in a chain.
Cool.
I did lie to you. Stacy Keibler appears on Thunder. She literally says nothing. She gets pressed on an answer and just doesn't say anything, and that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. My last note is during that segment, the crowd pops very big for Arn Anderson saying, women are like buses. One comes around every 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Arn's not always been like this. He's not always been this misogynistic man.
And that's all for the backstage notes and Thunder and all that. Yeah, I know that went a little while, but if I got to suffer through Thunder, so do you, Emily.
You won't let me watch it with you. You watch it on your own. I will suffer through it with you. You just choose not to include me in your suffering.
Yeah, because I just put it on in the background when I'm doing something. I don't want to actively. But with that brings us to our main show, Fall Brawl 2000.
I'll admit, I really did not want to watch this. This took a lot to muster some sort of energy into me to make me want to watch this at all. We watched it in 2 sittings.
Yeah, that's more just because it got late.
It did get late. We're not night owls, the two of us.
We get a action figure intro package. Like
This is weird.
Yeah, I was really ready for like a Mattel sponsorship that never happened.
Literally, they're recapping the Scott Steiner and Goldberg feud and the Booker T and Kevin Nash feud through action figures.
Yeah,
Like, we're not exaggerating there. They are recapping the whole feud. They're like
but like stop motion.
They're stop motioning the matches.
Yeah.
With these, it was very strange.
We think at the opening pyro commentary tonight is Tony Schiavone, Mark Madden, and a returning Scott Hudson.
What did you think of the set?
I barely remember it.
That's correct.
The main thing I remember from the vibes of this show is the plain generic text for the like ring apron. It was
all really plain.
And then
like, that's the thing with the set that the fact that you don't remember it is very telling because it was so boring.
And then the microphone little sleeve was like really thin and it just had Fall Brawl.
Oh, I didn't.
That's all they
notice
had.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no theming. There was no set. Like there was hardly any difference between this show and like a Nitro or a Thunder. Honestly.
Yeah, I think the set looked a little bigger, but it basically just looked like Thunder.
It was sad. Yeah. Very telling of where we're at with the company.
Our opening match for the 100 kilogram and under title. It is champion Elix Skipper versus, and per the nameplate, the Kiwi.
The Kiwi.
With Paisley.
Sure.
Oh, and Elix Skipper has Major Guns.
Major Guns is so glittery.
Yes.
Like wearing a t-shirt of glitter, it seems.
Not allowed in my house.
Oh my god. No, she would not be allowed to come into the front door. So glittery. Did you notice how many Mark Jindrak signs were in the crowd?
Okay, yes. Apparently he's from somewhat nearby.
That makes sense.
We looked up the town and I went, what the fuck is this?
That makes sense.
Some fake-ass sounding town.
But, like, of all the people to have specific signs, like, yo, Mark Jindrak. Like, you're never going to get that again, dude. Sorry.
I did note Elix Skipper apparently has his own theme and does not come out to the Team Canada theme.
Oh.
Match starts. Kiwi hits a scoop slam flapjack, followed by some chain wrestling. Kiwi works over the arm, refusing to let go. They botch a leapfrog a little early, but manage to move on pretty quick. Skipper hits a springboard backflip just for shits and giggles, and then hits a bridging full Nelson suplex. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of like athleticism and agility in this match that I was not expecting.
Skipper hits a back suplex and then a corner headstand into a leg drop. Like entirely unnecessary, but I'm like, cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah. Skipper slows it down with a headlock. We get the arm drops, but Kiwi powers up on 3. Kiwi tries for a crossbody, but then they crash out of the ring very out of sync with one another because Kiwi goes out first and Skipper's like, oh wait, that's the spot, and then like falls out a second later.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault them too much.
Skipper hits a top rope springboard moonsault press to the floor, hitting the cameraman in the process. And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, that probably hurt you a lot.
Honestly, though, props to Kiwi in that spot because Kiwi was ready to catch Elix Skipper. Like, he was prepped. And the cameraman falling, that's on the cameraman. Honestly, I don't think that's on the wrestlers.
He got hit. Yeah.
The cameraman was too close.
Yeah, him falling isn't the thing. It's him being in the spot to get hit.
Yeah, the cameraman got. That's his fault. The two wrestlers were doing good work, though.
In the ring, Kiwi counters an overdrive into a powerbomb, and then we get the natural born thrillers coming out for some reason.
They're just like standing on the ramp. They don't do anything yet.
Yeah. Kiwi then hits a hip toss and a vest press and a drop kick as we keep kind of going, all right, why are you out here?
Yeah.
Kiwi dumps Skipper to the floor and then drops his face onto the barricade. Mike Sanders comes down to the ring and hits Kiwi with the stickball bat, which is...
Fucking stickball.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
But the ref is distracted by Paisley, like, slapping Elix Skipper at ringside, which, that should be a DQ.
Because it was not in the ring, I don't think that it counts. Like, it's WCW. Shut up. Let it go.
Like, you can't...
Let it go.
You can't do a spot of, well, this person's interfering, so we have to distract the ref. What can we do? I know, someone interfering.
Let it go.
Kiwi rolls through a diving crossbody for only a 2. We then get Skipper matrix dodging a Kiwi attack and then hits the overdrive for the win.
It was a good match.
It was.
I wish the Natural Born Thrillers weren't there, but it was a good match.
Yeah, I wish they weren't there, and I wish you gave us any reason to care going in.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed this match, but this match was based on, I think, a number 1 contenders match on Thunder, and I don't know if these two have interacted at any point in the build of this pay-per-view match.
I don't think so. Not on Nitro, at least.
Even on Thunder, I've been glancing, and I'm like, maybe on fucking, I'd say... Wow, which show did they shut down? Saturday Night or Worldwide? Like they're running out of shows.
It's a real shame that Kiwi is actually a good wrestler. It does make me sad that he is actually pretty talented.
Just let him like wrestle. I don't know, man.
Let him wrestle as a guy. Why can't he just be a guy? Yeah, it's a shame. Like he was doing really good work. They both were doing really good work, but Kiwi being in a skirt the whole time is just demeaning. I feel.
Yeah,
like he overpowers it.
Yeah, I think I'm able to overlook it, but. Like, these guys deserve more.
Yeah, you can tell that they're being buried by the booking.
I feel like saying they're being buried is giving the booking too much credit. Mm. They just don't care. They went, oh yeah, you got this title, whatever. Fucking go do something.
Yeah, maybe.
We then get commentary formally checking in for the first time and running through our matches tonight. And we go pretty quickly into our second match. It is another random who the fuck knows why match. It's 3 count versus the Misfits in action of Lieutenant Loco, Corporal Cajun, and Sergeant AWOL.
Fucking Sergeant AWOL. He pisses me off.
Why?
He's just grinning like a buffoon this whole time.
The MIA are meant to be kind of a bit dim.
But in a different way. I feel like you can kind of be self-absorbed and like self-important without being stupid. And AWOL is just stupid.
I don't know.
Grinning like an idiot really bothered me. Because like AWOL, before he became AWOL, when he was the Wall, he was like this big scary guy. And before he was the Wall, he was the fucking enforcer, or the security dude for Berlin. Big scary guy. Yeah. And now he's just like, look at me, I'm just a guy, whatever. Like it's
back then you'd see him and go, that's the Wall, brother.
It's just sad to see where he's gone. And I mean, he's not a good wrestler. We're gonna argue about that. But it's just like, why would I give a fuck about you?
I love how shit his indie name is after this. Malice.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's so edgy indie, but I'm like, yeah.
It's very much trying to be like grunge era. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah. That said, yeah, we have a 6-man tag. Shannon Moore hits a jumping snapmare on Lieutenant Loco early on, and Loco hits a massive wheelbarrow suplex. Corporal Cajun hits shake, rattle, and roll, but Moore hits a moonsault press. 3-count attempt to work over Cajun until Sergeant AWOL tags in, and I went, oh, it's early for that spot. I hope this doesn't go like a minute. Like, oh, no. Okay, it sticks around, but it almost felt like they were going home early there.
I kind of wish that the fucking Wall did not tag in. It feels like everyone is on in this match. Everybody is like clocked in, doing their job, doing it well. And then AWOL comes in and is like, everybody slow the fuck down.
I don't know about that.
He kills the vibe of the match. He kills the energy.
He hits a fucking press spine buster. Like, he does big power moves.
Power moves. That's different. Everybody else in this match is like cruiserweight, flippy, jumpy, high energy. And then he comes in and just like is a power guy. And I understand what his place in the match is. I just don't think that place matches the energy that this match has.
I gotta really disagree with you here. Because, like, look, I love the quick action. The finish of this match goes too quick. And I think slowing down a little bit would have helped. I mean, there's a great interview. I forget if it's with Christopher Daniels or Stephen Amell, talking about, like, they have a match at, I think it's the first All In, where it's like, no, slow down. Like, everything. Like, slow down until you think you can't slow down anymore, and then slow down some more. So, yeah, tell a story. Like, just doing moves doesn't tell a story.
I understand what you're saying, and yeah, sure, slow down. The Wall coming in does not slow it down, it stops it.
Well, let's move on. 3-count triple team Corporal Cajun as Ginger Ref just misses a pin attempt.
Ginger Ref's name is Jamie Tucker.
Fuck you, Jamie.
I wrote it down because Nick refused to.
Shannon Moore hits a rocker dropper, but Loco breaks up the pin. Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous hit a suplex splash combo as they work over Corporal Cajun. Courageous hits a snap power slam and a diving elbow. Shane Helms and Corporal Cajun trade punches until Helms hits a Russian leg sweep. And then we get Shannon Moore hitting just a lame 180 splash. It's like, you really got to be careful on those. They keep working over Cajun some more, and on commentary, Mark Madden has the line, you guys are making up moves. Why can't I just make up rules to matches?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Because you have been. You have been making up rules to matches for the last, year.
Commentary should be able to make up rules in the middle of the match.
Commentary's not the one making the match rules. You're right. But still.
Cajun hits a springboard facebuster and then makes the hot tag again to the Wall. Wall cleans house till a low blow. Shannon Moore hits a springboard somersault plancha over a table? Where the fuck did the table come from?
Somebody, when they were coming out, was setting up the table actively. I can't remember who it was at this point.
He hits it to the outside. Chavo then hits a top rope dive that the camera, I swear it cuts to him starting, cuts away, and then cuts back once he's, already landed.
Maybe.
Great work, guys. Evan Courageous then hits a springboard crossbody to the floor. Shane Helms tries for a dive to the outside, but he's stopped by the Wall. The Wall gets distracted by Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous, including, grabbing Moore by the hair, and they're like, oh, wow.
Grabbing him by the mohawk?
Not quite here. He does give a fuck here.
Dilly gaff?
He does. So with the Wall distracted, Helms hits a super kick and sends the Wall through the table. Lieutenant Loco gets thrown back in the ring, and oh no, it's the one thing they didn't want to happen as Shane Helms accidentally kicks Evan Courageous. Chavo counters a diving Hurricane Rana into a sit-out powerbomb to Moore. Loco and Cajun counter a triple suplex and then go to double suplex Evan Courageous, but they're stopped by the other two members of the 3-count. So Evan Courageous hits a double DDT. 3-count go for a pin, but they're pulled out of the ring by the Wall. The Wall takes the 2 out. Lieutenant Loco counters a back and forth with Helms, sending him into corporation for Whiplash 2000, giving MIA the pin and the win.
Woo.
Well, okay.
I don't know. I wasn't as into this match as you are.
Okay,
Very clearly. Like, you came at this with a lot more energy than I anticipated. Like, it was fine. I think the wall killed this match.
Okay, yeah.
Genuinely. I think this match would have been significantly better without the wall. Significantly.
Yeah, I thought he was fine in it. I look, there was no reason to like this match. There was no story going in. But yeah, I think it kept up a good, like, frenetic pace, and I don't think the wall killed as much as you think he did.
I think he did.
He came in for, like, 4 spots.
He, to me, ruined this match.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the wall. That's not a new opinion. And I think that his inclusion into the MIA is actually pretty detrimental to MIA.
They are doing a ton with him, admittedly. Like, I sometimes forget he's there.
He's new, and the buffoonic, how do you call that? Stupid ass grin that he has, whatever you want to say that is. That really just, like, sets a tone that is detrimental to the team. Like, it puts them into a different level of, well, who should fucking care about this team? When he's just coming out just grinning like, oh, look at me, I'm on TV. It just brings that team further down. And there are some really talented guys on that team, as evident of this match, without the fucking wall.
I see your point, but I think they're already at that level. When you have Chavo coming in every week with the fucking Stripes reference, like a fucking idiot. Like,
guess what? I've never seen Stripes, so it doesn't land on me, so I don't care.
Yeah, but like, as someone who's seen it, I know where they're at. I think you were overvaluing where MIA was in the pecking order.
They're clearly trying to push MIA. Well, they just gave Hugh Morris the fucking...
I'm sorry, who?
I'm saying Hugh Morris. The, like, lauding of Jim Duggan passing the torch to him. They're obviously pushing MIA.
Which, yeah, I mean, I think that kind of says the difference between how we feel about them. Because I thought that was kind of weird, and I'm like, you don't deserve this.
I don't think he does, but they did it. And regardless of whether or not he deserves it, he got it. So that is saying something about what the booking thinks of that team, and at least that guy.
I do think this is a good match, though. I really enjoyed this, where I stopped taking notes down the stretch because it was just kind of getting wild. And I went, all right, I'll come back to this because I was just enjoying watching it.
I think it was a fine match. I think, honestly, the first match was better.
Okay. I'd hear that argument.
That's my argument. The first match is better.
Moving on, earlier today, we get the non-WO, which, by the way, how do you feel about that name?
I don't care.
Okay, because all these guys were in the NWO together.
It's fine to me.
Jared still has it on his shirt, so... But they refuse a kid's autograph because he only has $1.50, and they're like, fuck off.
They essentially tell the kid to fuck off, yeah. It was kind of sad. Like, this kid is very cute, you know? He's just, like, excited to meet wrestlers.
Yeah, and they go, no, fuck your autograph. And they go to the kid, and he just all smiles.
He's all smiles.
Should have never been broken into this business.
He's just excited that wrestlers acknowledge that he exists. I thought it was sweet. I mean, Kevin Nash is a piece of shit, but, you know. What else is new?
I mean, in kayfabe.
In kayfabe? In kayfabe, Nick.
Oh, lordy. Let's move on to...
Speaking of telling people to fuck off, here's the next match.
It's the Harris Brothers with 2 S's versus Chronic.
That's a new way to say it.
Chronic with the proper backwards K.
Yeah, whoever knew that keyboard shortcut very clearly came back and taught people.
You know, it never occurred to me until now. You guys are so close to having something in common.
I swear to God, if this is a relic joke, I'm going to kill you.
No, it's a different... Well, now you ruined the joke. Okay, it wasn't going to be relic, all right? I was going to say, Chronic has 2 Ks in their name. All they need is a third one, and the Harris boys to be on board.
Ah, there you go.
Brian Adams has a mic for some reason and calls the Harris boys sheep ready to be slaughtered. Yes, Mark Madden Boz on commentary. It broke you.
It did. It was great. Like I'm saying, Mark Madden sucks 99% of that time, but that 1%, he's on and he's got it.
Brian Adams calls for, on top of this to be a chains match, it is now a first blood match.
Oh, goody. It's a first blood chain match. So, in reality, this match should last about 2 minutes. Because you wrap the fucking chain around your fist, punch him in the face, that should draw blood, period. This is still went more than 5 minutes.
Which I may have overstated the Sting handicap match on Nitro being a chains match, because I thought it was just like you know, we're using chains as weapons, like, you know, the infamous stairs match. And,
well, no, isn't this like more traditional chains? Like, where you're chained to a person?
There's not a traditional chain.
Or is that a strap match?
It's a strap match or a dog collar match. Like,
okay.
But yeah, I'm like, oh, wait, they're chained together? Because it's muscled up statues against shitty wrestlers. And I'm like, oh, no, you need to keep track of what rope everyone goes through or you're fucked.
And the problem is, both members of Chronic are named Brian, and the Harris boys are twins. So you just had a Brian with a twin on both sides. I'm like, I can't keep track of this shit.
Oh, I have almost no notes for this match.
Brian and a Harris boy lock up, while another Brian and another Harris boy lock up. Like, guys.
My first actual note of the match is the match starts and it's immediately a mess.
I mean,
Adams misses a chain-wrapped fist drop. Everyone brawls into the crowd. They do nothing and then come back.
Yeah, they barely even get into the crowd. It's like they didn't know what to do with the chains, and they're like, fuck it, crowd work.
Clark hits a chair to the back, and then, like, holy shit. I know they're doing things technically, but they're not telling a story. There's nothing here.
They're doing things, but they're not doing things.
I hit a punch, didn't hit a punch. And, like, there's nothing to this match. And spoilers for the end of the night, I don't think this is my worst bit of the night.
Oh, I feel like when we started the show, we're like, oh, we didn't reach for the bottle during this, you know? Yeah. That is true.
There are 2 matches, okay?
That is true. Like, it wasn't a terrible show, but this is one of those matches that's like, oh, fuck, this is why we're watching it in 2 sittings.
Oh, good, a ref bump. That'll fix things. One Harris brother uses the chained up baseball bat where apparently he's already bleeding. Yeah,
I don't know how he bled, but the ref is down, so he doesn't see it, so fuck you. I just called this Bat Harris. I don't know which.
Yeah, they bust Brian Adams open, and then they show the ref, and it's like, oh, okay, you win.
But the person showing the ref that
no, it was not
Brian
the bloody
is
one.
bleeding.
No, it was the other one.
Was it not? Okay.
Yeah.
This is the other Nazi, sorry.
Yeah, Chronic then clear the ring and attack the ref. And I'm like,
damn, that referee did not see that coming.
Hey!
Ew.
Who's the real winner, brother?
Fuck it. How dare that referee get knocked out? How dare he?
I think I found the note I give when I just have true disdain. Because my note is, who could care?
That's a good note.
That's it. Wasn't them trying their best might be up there, but...
That was really sad.
But
I have one of mine later.
Although then again, I have to ask, was this them trying their best?
No.
The fact that Chronic is like, we don't do jobs. I'm like, fuck you.
Everybody who thinks that they are hot shit is phoning it in at this point. They're like, I'm too good. You can't fire me anyway because I'm too good. So fuck you.
I know we've noted it before, but man, the more I watch Chronic, the more I'm unsurprised they got fired after one pay-per-view match.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
It's like, you've given us your best.
And your best sucks.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, let's move on. We got Pamela Paulshock is here with next month.
Oh my god, sure it is September. Jesus.
Well,
I don't think I watch like it's September for us.
Well, I also meant Halloween Havoc, but you know.
Well, no, I'm saying like September for this. I realize that next week is next month is Halloween.
Just move past it. Now, all right.
Pumpkins.
Do we have, if she appears on the show, do we have to do some sort of pumpkin style shot in her honor?
Yeah, we got to figure out what pumpkin thing we can find in June.
I might be, I say, like, oh, maybe July, like that'll
That's
help.
not better.
It's closer.
No, Halloween starts on July 5th, babe.
Anyway, she's here with MIA, but mostly General Hugh G. Rection. Rection says he'll prove our country is still the greatest in the world, and he'll bring guns and the U.S. title home, and dedicates the match to Jim Duggan, who kind of crashes the promo, and he's like, I'm the enforcer for this match, and it's not Canadian rules. So luckily there'll be no tariffs on this match.
Kill me.
But that promo brings us to our next match. It is Canadian champion Lance Storm versus General Hugh G. Rection.
I'm going to root for Lance Storm here.
For the title and Major Guns, and Jim Duggan's the enforcer.
Sure.
So, like, remember how, like, almost every company is like, if you have the title, it gives you power? How the fuck is Lance Storm have power here?
He's Canadian. What a jerk. How dare he? How dare he have his universal health care and low taxes?
Lance Storm has a mic and says he's so close and yet so far from home, like being in Buffalo. And he invites everyone to come to Nitro on Monday in Canada, see how great Canada is, and apply for citizenship.
Okay, see you there. Toronto's great. I've been to Toronto.
Storm then calls for the anthem. It's Play Without Incident, which I think happens because we're close to Canada.
Because we're close to Canada. I will say, though, as someone who's been to Niagara Falls, the New York side of Niagara Falls is kind of more fun than the Canada side of Niagara Falls. It's less touristy. I went under the falls, essentially, on the New York side, and it was so much cooler than going on the Maid of the Mist on the Canada side.
Match starts. Storm attacks Rection from behind to start as Duggan starts a USA chant.
USA.
Rection hits a big back body drop and throws Storm to the outside. Rection counters a crucifix pin into a Samoan drop. And then Rection hits a superplex when Storm goes up top but only gets a 2.
Wait, I forgot commentary has a really great line during this. Somebody is talking about how Lance Storm should be like afraid of Jim Duggan because of the power that he holds with the Americans. I think it's Mark Madden says, Lance Storm shouldn't be afraid of Jim Duggan. He only has one kidney.
But which one?
We'll never know.
To be fair, actually, our thing wasn't which one does he have. Our argument was...
Are you punching the side without a kidney?
Does it hurt more to be punched in the side that used to have a kidney or the
doesn't.
one that still does? Storm counters Rection, hits a super kick as Duggan chants USA. Storm hits a springboard dive to the outside and walks into a boot after being distracted by Duggan. Lance Storm hits a jawbreaker but runs into a power slam, and Rection hits a gut wrench power bomb, but Storm hits a lame looking dragon screw afterward. Rection powers out of a maple leaf, hits a German suplex, and sends Storm to the floor. Not very American of him.
Listen, I trust that you're actually saying real moves, but there were like 3 in that sentence you just said. I'm like, these aren't fucking real.
I was referring to the American hitting a German suplex. Hypocrite.
No, I'm talking about like the maple leaf and the
Canadian
dragon corkscrew or whatever.
Right.
Like, these aren't fucking real.
And a sentence can just sound entirely fake when I say it. No, Emily, the Canadian maple leaf is a single leg Boston crab.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, man. You're just saying more words. I know what a Boston crab is, but like when you put those 2 sentences together, that sounds like gibberish.
Duggan sends Storm into the ring, and Rection signals for no laughing matter. But when Rection goes up top,
can we just call him Erection? Can we like come to can we come to a consensus that we just call him Erection? Rection sounds worse.
Emily, you've cut off the swerve.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. The erection's bothering me.
The erection's bothering you.
No, erection is fine. Erection sounds like there's something wrong with your asshole. I don't know.
Yeah. For some reason, Major Guns feels the need to like, oh my god, I'm so happy, and gets up on the apron, distracting the ref. So Jim Duggan hits General Huge Erection off the top rope with the 2x4.
Egads. Not very America of him.
Canadian Lance Storm locks in the Canadian Maple Leaf, and he wins because Rection's passed out. I feel like people have just missed the point on that spot.
Yeah.
Doing they're passed out, I'm like, you realize it only worked with Austin because he fought like hell and then passed out. It wasn't, he's unconscious.
Yeah, well. Anyway, Jim Duggan said, fuck America.
Yeah, he reveals a Maple Leaf shirt under his, whatever shirt he was wearing.
It was like a referee shirt, kind of.
Yeah. Duggan then fights off the rest of the MIA, and Duggan and Storm celebrate as Major Guns looks her version of distraught.
Just kind of pouty.
Yeah.
I will say I actually did not see this coming.
Yeah, I knew this one.
See,
yeah, I know. I guess I didn't know what happened here, but I knew it was coming. Especially when Duggan retired. Because you're like, does he stay retired? I was like,
no, clearly not.
But yeah, per a previous match, you did not see that coming.
Fewer Nazis in this one, though.
No, I would say just one complete asshole and Bill DeMott. But he's
yeah,
not.
But you know.
Look, hey, to my knowledge, he's not a Nazi, so it could be worse.
That's a plus. That's in the plus column. Could be worse.
Thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Like,
it was not offensive.
Yeah, the match was, in the grand scheme, was a lot more about the swerve than the match itself.
I mean, yeah, but like even prior to that, like it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about entertainment value. Like it wasn't technical and it wasn't, a match to go into the history books or anything like that, but it was entertaining.
It was kind of quick. I think the fact that they knew that this was like, it's all people can remember anyway, so
True.
We can give this 6 minutes and it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we have another member of Team Canada, which is good.
Probably good.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see like his work in the group because I don't know how long he's around for. It might be the whole time. It might not be.
But Nikki's retired.
Moving on, we get Mean Woo by God Gene with the Natural Born Thrillers.
Gene is not having fucking anything tonight.
No, he's on one.
He is like cursy.
He's had like 1 or 2 Oaklands, I think.
He may have. No, I feel like I'm kind of cursy in this episode. Gene puts me to shame.
Well, yeah, because Mike Sanders does a Conan impression. So Gene is like, you're a prick. It's like, okay. And then it tells O'Hare. He usually stops short on this, but he just straight up goes, oh, blow it out your ass.
It's amazing. Go, Gene, go.
Put that cigarette out.
Somebody's got to tell these fuckers what's what.
So Mike Sanders insults his opposing team and says the odds aren't looking very good, which brings us to our next match, which has been like mildly advertised, kind of a weird one. It is I guess, in total 14-man elimination match.
Too many.
It is the Natural Born Thrillers versus the Filthy Animals, Vito, and apparently a mystery partner.
That was not teased at all.
No, yeah, I'm like, why are you doing a mystery partner for a 30-second build?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, here's what you do. You know at the start of the show, when you're hyping up the rest of the card?
Maybe hype up the
You mentioned
mystery.
a fucking mystery.
Babe, you're giving advice to a company that died 20
I
years
know,
ago.
but fucking...
25 years ago.
But Scooby-Doo didn't go fucking, oh, wait, there's a crime? Oh, wait, 10
I would have
seconds
gotten away
later, I
with it,
solved
too.
it.
If it wasn't for you crazy animals.
You know, I was inside Old Man Jenkins, but that's a SpongeBob thing. Anyway, yeah, so, and to add to the mystery partner, for some reason, they're like, oh, he gets out of the car, let's walk him all the way from the parking lot. And I think they're only doing this because you can't do a mystery partner and then just go, it's him. You have to at least build it, and this is them building it.
You know what this reminded me of? So, at our wedding.
Oh. Yeah, for a second, I think you're going to say fucking Spinal Tap, but you're not wrong.
No,
with
at our wedding, we did a first look where before the ceremony, Nick comes and sees me in my dress, but he has to be led to where I am without seeing me. So
the spot changed.
So the spot changed, and the photographer took him to the other side of the venue, but to get him to where I was, walked him across the entire venue backwards. And there was definitely a point where he did not have to be walking backwards. Like, he didn't have to walk the whole way backwards.
No, I know the geography of that lot. It's like I could have turned around halfway through that.
Yeah, but the entire way he was like quote unquote blindfolded for no good reason. And like all my bridesmaids were kind of like joshing him for it. It was kind of funny, but it was very like if you just put a towel over Nick's head, it would have been the exact same as the reveal of this person.
Put a towel over my head, I would have demanded a camera do like a Taz ECW.
Oh my god!
See you on the 26th.
You did kind of incorporate Bret Hart. There was wrestling at our wedding.
Yeah.
Fear not.
It's been a while. I feel like we probably talked about it.
We too sweeted.
So yeah, they keep the mystery during the entrance, and I'm like, guys, it's fun. Like, don't have him come out with you if you're gonna do a reveal.
Right? Yeah. Have him come out later. That could be a whole thing.
Conan has a mic. He calls the Natural Born Thrillers cranberries and reveals the mystery partner as Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Which I'm like, oh come on, I wanted to hear his fucking theme. I wanted
be cool.
I don't know how much you know his WCW theme. It's
I've
great.
heard it, definitely.
Oh, it's great. The Maestro had an instrumental version of his theme.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the Maestro.
I know. He just vanished.
He did.
I don't think we really got a goodbye on him. I think it was just...
No, because does he go off and do anything else?
That's my knowledge. For all I know, he's still on fucking like Saturday night or whatever.
Well, no, they canceled Saturday night.
Worldwide. Whatever fucking show.
Oh, I miss the Maestro. Anyway. No, it would have been cool to hear Paul Orndorff's music here.
They would have given him some shit new metal theme.
Yeah, probably.
So the match starts. Tony notes it's an elimination match as Mark Jindrak and Rey Mysterio Jr. start. Making
this an elimination match
just
makes it set up to wait for Paul Orndorff. Like, we're just waiting for Mr. Wonderful to tag in at this point.
Jindrak overpowers Ray until Ray hits a springboard leg drop on a draping Jindrak. Jindrak catches Ray out of the air and hits a tilt-a-whirl slam, and O'Hare hits a big power slam, but Ray manages to tag in Hoovy. Hoovy drops O'Hare on the ropes and hits a springboard dropkick. O'Hare then catches Hoovy out of the air, hits a Falcon Arrow type move. Hoovy fights off Jindrak and O'Hare until making the tag to Vito, and then Disco almost immediately force tags in, but ends up getting put down quick. O'Hare hits a super kick, but the pin is broken up. Disco hits a spinning neck breaker, tags in Conan, who actually hits his rolling clothesline and his facebuster. I'm like, holy shit, I don't think I've actually seen Conan do his stuff in
a while.
Maybe, our time, maybe a year.
Oh, in our time, yeah, probably.
I'd say even real time, maybe a year.
No, I don't think it's been that long, real time.
I don't know. Yeah, just...
He's been injured for so long.
I saw his sequence and I went, oh yeah, fuck, it's been a while. There's a distraction spot where Disco accidentally hits a last dance on Conan and Conan is eliminated. So now the Filthy Animals are down 1.
Because Disco is dumb. That's the only reason.
Johnny the Bull tags in. Woo. Russell's in the hat for a minute.
Yeah, that didn't last very long.
He misses his diving leg drop with the jumping into the corner. Nobody wants to tag out Disco, so Reno hits a roll of the dice and pins Disco. So now the
Disco.
Filthy Animals are down 2.
Get out of here, Disco.
Vito and Reno stare down because they got family business.
They got beef.
Neighborhood style. Big Vito style.
They got gabagool.
They trade strikes until a mafia kick. Vito hits an Impaler DDT on the event Chuck Palumbo, but the pin is broken up. Reno is somehow back to being the legal man. I'm like,
Sure.
wait, just, okay. Vito tries for a stickball bad shot, DQ, but Johnny the Bull sneaks a kendo stick shot in, actually quick, that's how you do a cheating spot. And Reno hits the roll of the dice on Vito and pins him. So we are down to just Ray, Hoovy, Tigress, and Paul Orndorff.
How wonderful.
Meanwhile, the Natural Born Thrillers have all... I guess I don't know how many members of the team are in this match.
Many.
By the way, Sean Stasiak's on commentary for this.
I really thought that was going to, become something. I thought,
Yeah, we'll see on that. Yeah, so Hoovy's in, hits quick offense and a diving spin kick. Ray and Hoovy hit Poetry in Motion and a Hoovy driver Nutcracker combo, and Reno's eliminated. So finally, one member of the Thrillers is out.
Finally.
Ray and Hoovy then brawl with Jindrak and O'Hare and just kind of get dominated. They catch a Hoovy dive to the outside and throw him back in the ring over the top rope. It's like, oh shit. Hit a Shanton bomb. Juventud Guerrera is eliminated.
What?
As a reminder, we have limited time with Hoovy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not into Hoovy. We do still have that headshot of Hoovy somewhere in this office.
Somewhere.
I don't know where. It might actually be behind Scott Norton.
No, it's somewhere else. I don't know where, but yeah, Scott Norton just watches over us.
He does. He looms.
Anyway, in the match, Paul Orndorff finally tags in, takes out the rookies. Johnny the Bull comes in and kendo sticks Mr. Wonderful, DQ.
Sure.
But Orndorff just sticks him back, and then Orndorff pile drives Johnny the Bull and pins him, despite Johnny the Bull not being the legal man.
Well.
Then we get Paul Orndorff ducking a jumping Jindrak, sending him to the floor, hits a knee lift to Sean O'Hare. Jindrak comes back in, and Orndorff ducks a dive and goes for a pile driver, and just something happens here. It just...
Yeah.
They mess up the timing, and he still kind of hits it, but just the lifting timing is off, and Paul Orndorff just goes down, and...
Mm-hmm. It's scary.
Oh, yeah. It just...
the move itself looks fine enough, but the fact that, Paul does not move after this.
Credit to Sean O'Hare, I think. Because I think he sees this and immediately gets on top of Paul Orndorff and is
and pins him.
And pins him, get him out of the match.
Yeah. He's no longer here.
But
I agree.
From there, Paul Orndorff literally doesn't move.
No.
He just lays in the middle of the ring, and, people are wrestling around him.
I'm trying to decide whether or not the people wrestling around him was a good move professionally or a horribly overseen move. Because, Ray is wrestling around with, I can't remember who. But I feel...
Jindrak or O'Hare.
I feel like what they were trying to do was pull focus. I feel like they were aware enough to recognize that something was going on. Look at me, don't look at that.
I think they're also just expecting him to roll out of the ring.
Yeah.
And, like, none of the refs are going, whoa, stop.
Exactly.
And, like...
So I don't want to fault any of the other wrestlers for continuing going.
Like, it's such a weird situation.
No.
That, like, yeah, it's like, Shutter Hair did the right thing. It's like, oh, cool, he's out of the match. So you can look after him at ringside while we do the match.
We continue on, yeah. We'll figure it out.
Paul Orndorff can't move at this point. And
you're saying he has some form of, like, temporary paralysis here.
But, like, they keep doing spots so close to him, and I'm like,
oh my god,
stop.
The fucking
event. My god.
Fucking Chuck Palumbo does, like, I don't know what kind of move, but he lands and takes a bump, like, basically on Paul Orndorff's ankle. Like, he's just laying there. I'm like, fucking read the fucking room, Chuck. Charles.
Yeah, Ray hits a Bronco Buster, Tigers hits a face full of stuff, and, like, the match kind of keeps going until Charles Robinson is just like,
we need to
no, just it's all fucked. Just, like, stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Obviously, the rumbling of the ring was not helping the situation that was going on with Paul Orndorff.
Yeah.
Like, the vibrations were not affecting his movement.
I mean, I don't even know how much of it was that versus like, hey, we need to come check in this guy and we can't deal with you guys trying to fucking doing match around us.
No, I feel like the vibrations has to be a thing because, like, when I broke my wrist when I was a kid, every bump in the road when I was on the way to the hospital, I remember feeling like tenfold. When they were taking the cast off of me, like, to change to a lower cast and I wasn't fully healed, I remember all those vibrations hurting a lot more than they should have. Like, those little, like, jostles and bumps definitely affects how somebody is, like, feeling in the moment. Like, he could not probably talk about how he's actually feeling while all this bumping is going around behind him.
Well, so that's funny because when I fractured my fibula, I just walked around on it. I walked around on it, and no, but, like, I didn't.
It's very different.
I rode on a bus too. And I didn't think anything, but yeah,
fucking stupid. That's a different thing. You're just a stupid boy.
We got minimal boos for the random, like, let's call it off, but, like, the crowd was more or less like,
I think they got it.
Yeah, I think at a certain point they went, oh,
something
okay,
happened.
yeah. So we finally get Paul Orndorff stretchered out and commentary stalls, and it's like
they linger on this.
Oh my god, yeah, I
cut to a backstage.
That's my one criticism of this is that it's just like they cut back to him, like the close-ups of him being stretchered out, and like. I don't even know what, like, it's not fair to review this match because it's not about the match. Now, I can give you the good news, and they give us an update later, but this is, like, just a stinger. Paul Orndorff is released from the hospital the same night. Like, he walks out. It's like, it was a temporary paralysis. It's just weird nerve pinching. Yeah. Like, that's what stinger is. It's just, your nerves just kind of, like, lock up, and this is basically his retirement from wrestling. I mean, he was almost already done. He retired in, like, 94, 95 because of a weird, like, arm injury.
So he was already not firing it up.
Yeah, so he moves on from this. He walks. He actually, like, randomly appears in WWE a couple times, just, like, celebratory things. Goes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He dies in 2021, and he dies of dementia, which is terrible, but yeah. I don't know how much I'm not a doctor.
I don't want to attribute that solely to wrestling,
but I'm glad he lived another 21 years after this. So
we do get a check-in later in the show tonight too of like, hey, he's at the hospital, he is responsive, he's not walking but he's talking, which helps.
But yeah, he goes on to make a more or less full recovery. It's just like hey, maybe wrestling isn't for you.
Maybe we are done wrestling. Yeah. Nerves are weird. I had a weird nerve thing this morning, actually. Like, I had to put my brace on for my, like, I should have gotten surgery on my wrist when I was a kid. Bar none. But my wrist still fucks up sometimes. And it was just pinchy and weird this morning. Oh, speaking of insurance and wrestling. Oh, God. I got to inform my sister and her husband, who work in insurance, about the fun Lloyd's of London wrestling policies that used to exist. Oh, Jesus. Before they got rid of them, because it's like, oh, yeah, no, sorry, you just can't work single matches, Road Warrior Hawk. Yeah, you can still work tag matches. That doesn't break your insurance. Jesus Christ. You had to retire because of your injury, but you can still work tag matches. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Sure, why not? That's why Arn Anderson doesn't wrestle at this time, because he cashed in his Lloyd's of London policy. So I believe we get the continuation of this and just wrap it up on Nitro. Oh, okay. But I think it's next Nitro, but we'll see. Okay. Let's move on. We get Pamela Pumpkins with Kidman and Medusa. Oh my God.
Kidman initially is like, I wish Paul Orndorff well. It's like, okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, as you should.
He asked Douglas if he thinks Tori is ready for this. And then Medusa, you bimbo bitch.
Oh my God. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Like,
she's basically going to kill them both.
Medusa's ready to light somebody on fire.
But that brings us to our scaffold match.
Oh, God.
So our Pittsburgh plunge scaffold match, to be more correct. It is Shane Douglas and Tori Wilson versus Billy Kidman and Medusa. Shane Douglas and Tori step over their truss scaffold.
Yeah, can we talk about what the scaffold of the scaffold match is?
Well, all right. So normally the scaffold match happens above the actual ring.
Sure.
Like, oh, they're stepping over some truss. That's weird. Because, like, we're going to cut a heel promo. Like, they don't say anything.
No.
And then they get onto this truss platform.
I would never call this scaffolding.
No, it's not. It is a 10 by probably 40-ish.
Give or take.
Yeah, but it's 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
Or at least between 8 and 12. It's not all that wide for people taking bumps.
No, it's not wide enough at all.
So everyone gets on this platform, and then it just starts getting raised up. Ugh. And it gets raised up so slowly that I think Kidman and Douglas go, we gotta just fill the time.
Yeah.
We gotta brawl a little bit.
It's also just so incredibly wobbly as it's being raised that I'm like, I don't like the stability of this.
It doesn't help that, like, the match starts, every move has me terrified. And then we see, like, crew members working on something on the outside. And you thought it was like, oh, fuck, this isn't structurally sound.
Yeah. I thought that they were, like, securing the platforming to additional trusses to kind of stabilize it a little bit.
What it was is there was a ladder on each side to be able to climb down.
Yeah, which is apparently, like, important to the actual structure of the match. Like, you have to get down off of the scaffolding to win.
But
but you have to climb down the scaffolding from the ladder, not jump off. Because if you jump off, then that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But climbing down something, it's not hard.
No.
It's like the TNA reverse battle royal where it's like, you gotta get in the ring. Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, in this match, like, every move shows you how wobbly it is. Douglas dodges an enziguri, locks in STF, but Kidman breaks it up. Douglas hits a franchiser on Kidman, and then Douglas and Medusa brawl on the ladder, and Medusa gets knocked off the ladder into a clearly foam mat. Like,
yeah, you were telling me that before this match, Tori was supposed to take the bump, and she was just like, yeah, fuck that, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, she vetoed any version of this, of her taking a bump. Because she's not a fucking trained wrestler.
No, valid.
Don't put her in.
That's valid. But this looks so fucking cozy. Like, simple. Like, this is the easiest bump you could possibly take. Like, Medusa
it's still
plops.
A height, but yeah.
It's a height for sure. But Medusa just kind of plops, and there was no impact.
But they only added Tori and Medusa to the match on the most recent Nitro.
Yes.
Hey guys, if the whole reason you're doing this match is for Tori to take a bump and she doesn't want to, you don't have to add the women to the match.
Right. Is it like she agreed or was kind of told to agree before realizing what she was signing up for, maybe?
I think they booked the match and then said, oh yeah, you guys are losing. And she went, what? I'm sorry, what?
Maybe.
That's how I assume that went. But
probably.
I've got no indication that Tori went back on her word.
Fair.
Medusa's dead.
Dead, quote unquote.
We'll talk about her at the end. We never see her again, to my knowledge.
Oh. Okay.
Well, one, I'm like, scaffold match. All right, you threw somebody, so I assume you won.
Right, you
no,
think.
Match is still going.
Jesus.
Oh, also the crowd boos the fucking spot.
Because it's so soft. There is no, like, impact in this at all. Honestly, Nick and I were talking about this when we were watching it. If they had just added something like, you know, they set up tables for, like, the crash to look a little more impactful. If they had just set up a fucking pile of feathers to make it look like, oh, something exploded, that would have done it.
We referenced the hardcore triple threat at WrestleMania 17 where it's just like,
the breakaway,
Yeah, just something to make it look cooler, not... Because they have that, because Kidman and Douglas are brawling, and Tori low blows Kidman. Douglas throws Kidman off the side of the, I guess... scaffold, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
There's something at ramp side for the win, or guess not for the win. They still climb down, but like it's a gimmick stage.
Yeah.
So you had it on the one side. The other one, nah, I'm not doing it.
No. Well, because only the women need the extra the cushion.
Yeah, Douglas and Tori climb down very slowly.
Yeah, Tori is very clearly unsure about the security of that ramp, or the ladder, I should say.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. I will say, it does seem like Shane Douglas seems to be like a shoot nice guy, from what I can tell.
Yeah, from what I can tell, he's like a business prick, not like a asshole
Not a
prick.
personal prick, yeah.
But yeah, oh my God, this was terrible.
It was 5 minutes. You gave 5 minutes to a scaffolding match. Like, come on.
Like I've seen crazy bumps from scaffold matches.
Yeah.
Because like usually it's like, all right, they're above the ring, and there's usually like 90 tables set up in the ring, and it's like, we're gonna throw you, you're gonna crash through
Sure.
all of them. But this, I'm just like,
It's just sad.
just a random truss platform is not a scaffold.
It was not a scaffold. We were talking about going to New York City earlier. Like, New York City knows what scaffold is. There's scaffolding everywhere.
I really thought you were gonna cite Nigerian drum and like, this isn't a scaffold.
No, they actually used the scaffolding here.
There was no scaffold though, so did they?
It's not like the scaffolding was outside the ring looming in and they didn't touch it. It's different.
This was bad on all fronts because, like, if you notice, we didn't cite anything move-wise that happened in this match.
Because there was nothing to say.
But yeah, because they're brawling on a very unstable thing, so you can't do anything up there.
No.
Put Kidman in the lower card, please, because you don't want to do anything with him on the fucking mid-card or main event.
No, I mean, Kidman still has so much to give. Like, he is still young. He is still talented. Like, we can still be doing stuff with Kidman, but they just refuse to, and I don't understand why.
Kick Disco out.
Kick him out.
Put Kidman with the Filthy Animals.
Please, get fucking Disco out of here.
But we'll have to wait and see with him, because admittedly, and I think we've chatted about this a little bit, we are really in the fucking dark ages.
Yeah.
Or, like, especially once Russo leaves, of, like, we have, I think, 6 pay-per-views left. Minus Sid breaking his leg. Barely anyone fucking talks about any of these shows.
I mean, yeah.
So, yeah, we're in kind of a dark period of I don't really know a lot of what's going to happen or where people are going.
I think that's going to be something that'll be interesting to talk about post-podcast of, like, where are they now? Or, like, not now, but, like, right after this, where did they go? What happened?
Yeah.
I think that'll be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Because nobody talks about, like, this era, like you're saying. Like, nobody is talking about fucking Fall Brawl 2000.
Yeah, I think the answer of where are they now in 2001 is WWA, XWF, or in the shitty invasion angle.
Yeah, but we never hear anybody talk about WWA or XWF. Like, that's not a very, like, widely spoken about, like, platform, really.
Yeah, I know XWF has definitely gotten some. I know, I think Wrestling with Regret has done it. I know the Attitude Podcast has done it.
Have they?
It is a company founded by Jimmy Hart and Brian Knobs.
I mean, that's not good.
And they keep going, guys, we swear, Hulk Hogan's eventually showing up.
Does he?
No.
No.
No, he's like, oh, wait, you're going to pay me how much, Vince? Never mind.
Yeah. Sorry, friends. Bye.
But no, that is one that I kind of want us to eventually watch for ourselves at the very least.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We get Mean Gene with Sting. Gene is just like, yeah, I know you're a pay-per-view match, but you got a bigger deal match on Nitro for the title. And even Sting's like, yeah, one sentence. So Monday, I have a title shot, and I'm really looking forward to that. Like, fuck my pay-per-view match. And he gets attacked by Jeff Jarrett, who then notes that, like, Sting didn't win really on Thunder, so he's going to get the title shot. Like,
cool.
Jarrett, I know Sting technically won by shenanigans, but, like, you definitely didn't fucking win.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Like, you can't go, oh, he counted me submitting when I didn't. Therefore, I win?
Lol, I win.
I was unconscious, so I won.
Very, like, heads I win, tails you lose.
See, what you don't know, it was a first to fall asleep match.
Oh, I would win all of those matches. Oh, my God.
Yeah, just put on a movie I care about.
I watched King's Speech.
Not with me. So, I kind of assumed, all right, we're talking to Sting. Our next match. Nope.
Nah, fuck you.
We have to go to an interview with Mike Tenay from yesterday, apparently, at David Flair's house.
God.
Mike Tenay aggressively knocks on the door, and David Flair eventually like, what do you want today? Like, I just wanted to like interview you. Are you alone? Yes.
Yeah, totally. Except for this fucking cameraman behind me.
And probably a fucking boom
and
operator.
a boom up, yeah. Yeah, totally alone.
They go into the house. David's place is a mess of pizza and beer and newspapers.
Yeah, sure. It does. It looks like the house or apartment of a guy who just got dumped. That tracks.
Admittedly, the interior looks so much smaller than the fucking houses.
It does, yeah.
So Mike today asks, what was it like having your life ruined and being humiliated on live television?
Mike,
walk us through every element of your fucking shame, you
Mike
loser.
today is just like, let's bring up all of your trauma. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about all of this traumatic shit that happened to you last week? Remember when your wife walked out on you? Remember when your family all watched you get fucking, cucked by your fiance? Remember that? How do you feel?
Yeah, Mike today was like one line away from, you should just fucking kill yourself.
Honestly, it did feel like that. It was sad. This is horrible. This is a horrible segment. If I was David, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, David just stares off, is paranoid about like, oh, the father's going to be here in a second. And it's like, well, who do you think the father is? Reed. Like your 12-year-old brother?
11-year-old brother?
I see how he looks at her. Honestly, him saying Reed got a laugh out of me at least. And then
let's not accuse Stacy of something here, Jesus.
Fair. But my main note for the segment is, holy shit, get on with it.
Yeah, they were just kind of like harping on the same shit over and over.
Like they're still pushing, oh, Rick might be the dad, and then David says, oh wait, the father's here. It's the mailman. David attacks the mailman, puts him in the figure four. Like, I think he broke my leg, and
then David just runs down the street.
What the fuck was this? What was this?
He running.
What? Why was this on pay-per-view?
Lord, he running. Because why not? Because fuck it. Because why wouldn't? Nick, question. Ask yourself, why wouldn't this be on pay-per-view? Why wouldn't it be?
Because it doesn't matter.
Neither did anything else that we just watched. Why wouldn't this be on pay-per-view?
Why would you do the Sting interview before this? Do it after.
Because fuck you, that's why, Nick. We have been watching WCW for the last 4.5 fucking years. What else? Why else would they do this? Have you not learned? Have you not learned that nothing has a purpose and everything is fucked?
When are you going to learn?
Your actions have consequences. Nobody gives a fuck how you feel, man.
Well, related to that, let's go to our apparently three-way dance for no fucking reason. It's Sting versus Vampiro versus the Great Muta.
The brothers in paint.
Now, this match got saved for you a bit because Vampiro comes out with the ICP.
Hell yeah.
Muta comes out alone, and the ICP just take over commentary. And I wasn't as into this as you clearly were, but
they fell off.
Okay, did they? Because
yeah.
To me, them doing commentary and like feeling your energy is like when Scott Steiner does a promo, or Sid, where I just know I'm like, yeah.
I got very excited when they went over to commentary, and then they kind of didn't do much with it.
But they had one joke, and it was just saying
people's names wrong. Yeah.
Not even people's, mostly just the Great Muta.
Yeah.
They had 90 versions of the Great Muta that weren't that. And it's like, do you get it? Sting comes out half limping from his attack and then gets attacked by Vampiro on the ramp. The Dark Carnival work over Sting at ringside. Vampiro hits a facebuster on a chair on the floor and then throws Sting into the crowd. They brawl in the crowd, come right back. Nothing to note. Muta hits Sting with a chair. ICP on commentary, throw him a kendo stick, and he like doesn't use it. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was kind of like, when a kendo stick is introduced, like you have to use it.
No, it was a fun spot though of just like them like hyping him up, throwing the stick,
and like, he caught it very swiftly. It was a very cool little spot.
Then in the ring, Muta just kind of watches Sting and Vampiro have a match. The way ICP are talking is like, oh, you know all the drama that's happened lately with the Great Muta and Vampiro. I'm like, no?
Nope.
What?
Haven't seen Great Muta in a minute.
No, he's been around.
But like, in stories?
Yeah.
Has he? What's he been doing?
Wrestling with Vampiro. Like, nothing to indicate, like, oh, he's just going to break out.
There's nothing else going on.
Muta dodges a stinger splash. Vampiro hits a diving clothesline, and Muta hits his flailing elbow. He follows that up with his diving moonsault and goes for the pin, but it's a 3-way dance. So Vampiro is like, what the fuck, bro?
How dare.
Vampiro and Muta then fight. ICP come in to make peace. Sting takes everyone out with the baseball bat, hits the Scorpion Death Drop on Muta, and pins him.
This was lame.
Post-match, Vampiro and ICP go to turn on Muta, but Sting just pulls him out of the ring to safety, and that's it.
This was all really lame. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, this kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I'm going to say more than lame. And to add to it, and I guess we'll do a double here because we didn't really fully give her goodbye, but this is our last appearance of the Great Muta.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
If you had said Vampiro, I'd be like, oh, wow. No. They don't know what to do with Muta.
Yeah.
They never did.
Yeah, it just like, it kind of seemed like, hey, I'll pop in for a bit. And then they made him, I think calling him a second fiddle is giving it too much credit.
Yeah, they never had a clear direction of what to do with Muta. They didn't know who to really pair him with. Oh, you have face paint? So does he. That's your person now.
Timeless reference I'm going to do here. There was just a recent SNL with Jack Black where they do an open band kind of thing where everyone just brings up a bass.
Yeah.
That feels like what they did with the fucking Dark Carnival, where it's just like, hey, what's one more bass player among like eight of them? Like, yeah, it's
fuck it, why not? You got face paint? Join the band.
I will say again, I know Great Muta he reinvents himself and is great next year, and
not here.
Good
though.
For him, but not here. Yeah, I feel like any great memories I have of the Great Muta are really just great memories about Dale Torborg. Do you have great memories of Dale Torborg? For us. For the wrong reasons, but yes.
It's like, don't praise Dale Torborg.
And yeah, I meant to pause on it, but while we're talking about goodbyes, our other goodbye for this episode is Medusa. We're not going to see her again.
I feel like we already said our goodbye to Medusa. She disappeared before.
Yeah, that's just her story in WCW. Yeah. It's just, hey, we have a little something for you. Now you disappear for 18 months.
Yeah.
I was looking at some shows from 1996 WCW, and it's like, oh, wow, they have her doing pay-per-view matches. Like, I don't think it's for a women's title. I don't remember if they even attempt that, but...
No, not in early WCW.
I think they just kind of drop it weirdly if they do. But, yeah, just... I don't know that sticking around WWF would have been in her best interest, but... Man, WCW didn't have anything to do with her.
No.
They got their moment of dropping the title in the trash,
and
then they went, oh yeah, I guess we have to pay you.
And that's like the only moment for Medusa that they ever show too. Like, especially with her WCW run, it's just that moment of dropping the title in the trash. Yeah. They never show anything else in a highlight reel of anything else that she did.
I mean, there was that brief month-long span, more or less, where it was after Medusa lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Where they actually brought in a handful of women where they're like... That's true, yeah. They tried, hey, we're going to do Medusa versus Mona, and then just never did it.
Yeah.
And...
They did, give a women's division a, I don't want to say a fair shot, but they tried for a second.
I feel bad for her, because, she was just never in a spot that really committed to her.
No.
Or not even to her, just to the concept of women.
No, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It would have been different if, oh, hey, we're going to push women and we have more talented people, we're going to use them. It was constantly, hey, you're going to be the centerpiece. And then they just went, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Literally, yeah. She went on to become a monster truck driver.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, because she owned the rights to Medusa and used that on that scene.
Good. Get out of here. Wrestling doesn't love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Get out of this industry.
I think of get out of here. Kids, she don't want you anymore. But for WCW, that's just genuine and not them doing a bit.
Leave. Be better elsewhere.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm about to move on and I'm just oh yeah, God, my next note. I don't know how to present this without being out of fucking left field. That's all it is. We get Mike Awesome arriving in his Partridge Family bus.
Sure.
Pamela stacked to the boobs.
What?
Boobs. She has boobs.
Stacked to the boobs.
I was gonna reference a New Generation podcast phrase and decided against it.
Stacked to the boobs. That's a butts in the seats quote.
Pamela Hawkins and her
titties.
Yeah, her titties.
They're great.
Look at it.
She's blessed with good tits.
Wardrobe just had them all propped up tonight.
Oh my God, yeah. All the women tonight looked fantastic.
Oh, it should be noted, Medusa did wear the same outfit in her match and promo.
Congratulations.
But yeah, Pamela's here. Mike Awesome hits on her, and then he's like, I have a big surprise for my match.
No.
Okay.
So I have trauma with the word rowdy. I feel like if this word was said, I think I would just lock myself in a basement for the rest of my life. Mike Awesome asks Pamela if he wants to get on the bus and make some whoopee.
Yeah, it's a 70s phrase.
That's bad. That was bad in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's bad now.
Isn't that what it is in The Sims?
No, it's woohoo in The Sims.
Oh, right. But yeah, so Mike Awesome has a big surprise for his match. It's going to reveal right now. It's Gary Coleman.
What you talking about?
Yeah, they do an elaborate setup to that line because Gary Coleman's like, I ain't going to say it. What are you guys talking about?
He points out Gary Coleman's not a 70s star.
Yeah.
He's not from his fame isn't from the 70s. His fame is from the 80s.
Yeah.
He says this.
Yep.
It's like, why the fuck am I here, guys?
Well, he's here for Mike Awesome versus Jeff Jarrett in a bunkhouse brawl.
Why?
Jeff Jarrett comes out in a Tennessee Titans jersey, and I'm like, I swear you've done this exact bit before. I don't know if it was in Buffalo, but I kind of think it was.
So ringside, there are a bunch of NFL players for the Buffalo Bills. And he gets in the ring, and Jarrett just, like, dogs on the Bills for too long.
Yeah, he might as well have fucking pulled up, like, clips and been like,
see where you fucked up?
See, you're holding there. That's some shit.
Yeah. He went on for way too long. I wonder if he's like trying to pad time. If somebody was like, listen, the Orndorff match went short. We need to fill some time. Well, you can talk.
It's probably that and compensating for the fact that Mike Awesome has a shit gimmick. So they need to see Jeff Jarrett like want to get beat up.
I mean, maybe.
But yeah, he talks about the Music City Miracle. Emily, was it a forward pass or was it a lateral?
Oh, it was forward.
Scandal.
We watched this clip. It's undeniably forward.
2 people listening to this are going to get very upset at you. I don't know who the 2 are.
I don't give a fuck about football, but that was a forward pass.
He generally heals on the Bills' history, and Mike Awesome comes out. He's doing a 70s entrance, but has his normal gear, but he does have the, like, Farrah Fawcett hair.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, he has 70s hair.
No, he just fucking curled his hair back. Like, that's all he did. The Farrah Fawcett hair is a full blowout perm.
True, okay, true.
Mike Awesome just curled his fucking hair. He curled away from his face. That's not a Farrah Fawcett blowout. I can go do that in 10 minutes right now.
Do it.
Okay.
Jarrett attacks Awesome. The 2 trade weapon shots because there's weapons strewn about, including a noose.
A noose. There's a noose tied to one of the ring ropes.
Awesome throws Jarrett into the barricade next to the Bills repeatedly. The 2 choke each other with belts and ropes for a bit. Mike Awesome uses a branding iron as a weapon, but like...
This pissed you off.
It's not heated up.
It's not hot.
Exactly. The whole point of the branding iron is it's heated and it burns. That's like me using a lighter as a weapon and not using the fucking... It's a big lighter and I use the fucking, the fucking handle and, it's gonna burn him.
Throw a little lighter at me. Oh, God.
The 2 then lightsaber fight with chairs for a bit. Awesome wins. Awesome sets up a table in the ring and lays Jarrett on it, but Jarrett stops Awesome from going up top and tries for a superplex, but gets countered. Awesome wants a top rope Awesome bomb, which every time he does it, I'm like, bud, this ain't ECW. No, Spike Dudley ain't here to take that fucking bump.
No.
People noted how rare it was that Jarrett took a bump from the apron through a table at a ringside. He's not taking a top rope Awesome bomb through a table.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so Jarrett's not taking that, so he hits a back body drop to Mike Awesome, who just doesn't rotate all the way and lands on a scary fucking bump through the table. Like, mostly shoulder, but I was worried a lot of face. Awesome then slides to avoid a barbed wire table in the corner, then throws Jarrett into it twice. Table does not break.
And Jarrett's also fully clothed going into this, so like
and
the barbed wire doesn't cling to
it.
anything.
Also bounces off to like ringside.
Yeah, this barbed wire was not doing much.
Awesome hits a pop-up power bomb and misses a diving splash. Jarrett taunts the Bills players, so they jump the barricade and kind of fuck with Jarrett. Awesome hits a power bomb for a 2, and then Jarrett slips out of an awesome bomb, hits a low blow as the Bills just kind of slowly drop to ringside. It's like,
so it was kind of confusing why they were being told to jump down. All of the Bills got on the apron. They were all like around the perimeter of the ring. I think that they were told to get down because they were blocking the view.
That's the vibe I got. However,
big ass linebackers are gonna block your view. Yeah,
have that be the fucking finish.
Well,
guys, wrestling's not real.
What?
You control when the match ends.
Nick, you can't fucking say that.
Just don't sort your shit out, okay?
Once again, Nicholas, we have been watching the show for 5 years. Why are you surprised?
Because
and before that, you would seek out bad wrestling to show me. Why are you surprised?
Because just it's the
surprised.
fundamentals of things.
Stop being surprised.
So the Bills are like, well, we're done interfering. So who comes out as Jeff Jarrett grabs a guitar but Gary Coleman? He doesn't quite low blow Jeff Jarrett. He just punches him in the ass repeatedly. By the way, he's wearing a baseball hat because he goes to egg on the crowd, and he drops down from the ropes and his hat falls off. And not only does his hat fall off, but a big towel falls out of the hat, and he has to grab them both, puts the towel back in the hat, and then puts the hat back on. It's like, that's weird. Jeff Jarrett hits him with a guitar. It's like, oh, you wanted to cushion the blow.
I mean, it's a smart tip.
Fucking peak Ultimate Warrior fucking documentary. Why do you wear that hat?
I mean, it's a smart tip.
Yeah, but once you've blown the spot.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, Gary Coleman gets smashed with a fucking guitar. Not the only time you'll see Jeff Jarrett hit a... I guess we can talk about this. I don't know if Gary Coleman counts as a little person.
He does not. He is not a little person.
Yeah.
His growth was stunted by corticosteroids based on a kidney disease that he was diagnosed with as a kid.
He had somebody under 5 foot with a guitar. Not the only time we'll see it this year.
Ugh.
I say that like it's a child. He does not.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Actually, to be fair, he did make those children tap out in TNA. He was double J, double MA.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Remember when Ralphus and Norman Smiley went to that backyard wrestling group?
Oh, yeah. And they were like wrestling the kids on the trampoline. That was fun.
Anyway, finishing this match. After hitting Gary Coleman, Jarrett goes a different stroke awesome. But Sting comes in, hits a Scorpion Death Drop with some great difficulty based on everyone's legs.
Yeah.
And Mike Awesome pins Jarrett, doesn't even get like his own move or anything.
This is just fucking chaotic. Why are we here? What are we doing?
It was bad chaos.
It was bad chaos.
Like, the MIA 3-count match, like, okay, this is hectic chaos. It's fun.
But it makes sense.
This was just like...
What are we doing, gang?
Mike Awesome needed the Buffalo Bills, like 10 of them, Gary Coleman and Sting to beat Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett's not that good, guys.
Like, the crowd did seem to be into it, I think, because of, like, the Bills and...
Yeah, I think it was because of the Bills. Like, the crowd was not really into a lot tonight.
Yeah, I was let down by this. I wanted more.
It was not great, but it wasn't awful.
No. But, like, Mike Awesome in a weapons brawl, I'm like, yeah, you should not do this. Mm-hmm. But... yeah, it's just way too complicated down the stretch.
It felt like they also didn't use that many weapons. Again, like the stick bat match.
You know what it is? They did use them. They used them all, like, once. They went, like, up, check. Like,
did they even use a trash can?
Me? I don't know. But
I don't think they did.
But, like, yeah, it just felt like we got to use it once to check it off the quota, and then we're good. Like, it didn't seem like there was purposeful.
It's like they had to prove that they needed to use these for work on their, like, taxes or something. They need to write off the noose.
Jesus. Let's move on. We get Mean Gene here with Scott Steiner in a promo that we're not going to cut in. It really.
No, I really thought that you would.
No, it wasn't much of anything. I didn't.
Honestly, though, we haven't given Mean Gene enough, like, kudos tonight. Gene is fucking on one. And he is grounding everyone to a point where I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah, Gene. I'm happy that you're here. Like, he calls out Sting earlier for being like, you crazy bastard. Like, I fucking love Gene. I hope he did have a couple Okerlunds before this.
Steiner says he's been like basically keeping Goldberg alive and like healthy just enough to like fight him tonight and really take him out. And he calls himself a loaded Sex Pistol, and he cares about his freaks and his peaks.
He's a loaded Sex Pistol ready to explode. Gross.
Yeah.
What are you exploding with? What are your bullets?
Cum.
Yeah. Thank you. Correct. That's the answer. That's gross.
Our next match is the apparently highly acclaimed Goldberg versus Scott Steiner. We get the full Goldberg entrance. We get Scott Steiner rocking a new face mask.
I called it the Batman face mask.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little Batman-y.
It is like a black plastic over the majority of his face. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know why he mixed it up, but okay, sure.
New look, new vibe. Same broken face.
They lock up, and Steiner hits big strikes in the corner until Goldberg's shoulder tackle, and then Goldberg hits an early press power slam on Steiner. Like, they're like, no, we're going to do big, meaty men doing big power moves.
Yeah, that is what this match was.
Steiner bails the outside, throws Goldberg into the barricade. Steiner hits a clothesline and a flexing elbow back in the ring, and Goldberg gets a boot up in the corner, hits a butterfly suplex. Scott Steiner then hits a diamond cutter for some reason. Like, what?
Oh, was it a diamond cutter?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
He then hits a spinning belly to belly, gets a 2, yells at the ref. Scott Steiner then goes for what I guess was going to be a power slam, which then looked like it was going to be a tombstone. But then Goldberg flips back and is like, nope, and power slams Steiner.
I thought it looked cool.
It did. It was just weird seeing like Scott Steiner's going to tombstone somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I am begrudgingly admitting that I am enjoying this match at this point. On paper, I shouldn't like two meaty men doing big power moves. That's not my vibe. I'm enjoying this.
They kept the pace up, I think is what it is.
They did. It's not big move, corner for 3 minutes.
Steiner dodges a spear in the corner, goes up top, and I'm like, what? Goldberg catches Steiner out of the air, hits another power slam. We then get Medeja, and Jesus, her boobs coming out with a pipe.
My note for Medeja's entrance. Medeja and her titties arrive with a lead pipe. I mean, am I wrong?
It's probably pretty.
It's a whole entourage.
It was a stiff lead pipe, I bet.
Hell.
By the way, we shouldn't just say a lead pipe. Apparently, it's the same lead pipe.
It's the lead pipe that broke Scott Steiner's face.
Except Steiner noted in a promo that his injury was via a punch.
In the package prior to this match, they said it was a pipe.
Yeah, it just... Okay, moving on.
Fuck it.
Steiner hits a chair shot and brings Goldberg back in the ring, and Goldberg also got thrown into the stairs earlier. I don't know if it's a chair shot or the stairs, but Goldberg is once again bleeding from the top of his head. Yeah,
I think this man just has thin skin on his head.
Yeah, how does that spot keep happening?
I don't think it ever has an opportunity to properly heal.
He took several months off.
But then he immediately busted it open, then it never healed.
No, he busted it open like a year ago.
No,
More.
it's been being busted open the last couple of weeks. I think that there was a different inciting incident.
Anyway, yeah, he's bleeding from the top of his head. Steiner hits a T-bone suplex followed by push-ups and a backbreaker. Goldberg fights out of a full Nelson, but Steiner hits a belly to belly. Steiner then grabs the lead pipe but turns around into a Goldberg spear. Goldberg wants the jackhammer, but who comes in but Vince Russo?
Me. Fuck me, fuck you, fuck this, fuck it all.
Vince Russo has struck again.
Fuck you. Fuck me for enjoying this match. Fuck him for being here. Fuck us for not thinking that this was going to happen. Fuck it all for just fucking fuck.
He hits Goldberg with a baseball bat. Not the finish. Goldberg kicks out, so Steiner throws him to ringside.
Can I bury Russo for real quick?
Sure.
This motherfucker had brain surgery a week ago. In kayfabe, he had fucking brain surgery
Tony Schiavone
a week
wasn't
ago.
buying it.
He had brain surgery a week ago. This motherfucker has a full-ass head of hair. And I don't know much about surgery or medicine. I've not been part of the medical career, but I've watched Grey's Anatomy. And I know that when you have surgery on your head, they fucking shave you. Your hair doesn't grow back that fast, Vincent Russo.
It's almost like it was a work inside a work.
Fuck you.
So yeah, Russo
Fuck it.
hits Goldberg with a baseball bat. Steiner throws Goldberg around, sets up a table kinda at ringside. Like, it doesn't get fully set up, and he does not seem any attempt to stop that.
Fuck.
So Scott Steiner then, like, scoop slams Goldberg through this, like, 75%
Oh, not even.
set up table.
It's halfway.
No, because one leg is up and the other one is like,
No, it's like it's on a slant. They didn't set up the second set of legs.
But commentators think, oh my god, he's probably dead. Oh my, like I said, a scoop slam through a table, like a table not fully set up. Like, it's fine.
He's entirely fine.
Steiner throws Goldberg back in the ring, locks in the Steiner recliner. Not the finish. Goldberg gets the rope, so Medeja kicks his arm away. Goldberg,
I liked the kick away, honestly. Although the ref watched that happen and was like, "Oh, yep, that's fine."
It's a no DQ match, so
I guess.
Look, I've been watching wrestling for, at this point, almost 20 years.
Okay, are you really going to cite this when you were just mad about shit that has been happening for the last 5 fucking years?
No, my point is going to be, I'm watching for almost 20 years. I have never been clear on what the fuck a rope break actually means in a no DQ match.
Valid.
It's never been fucking clear.
That's valid.
It's kind of the same as like, and I know it basically just depends on the story of like, hey, the count out rules. If somebody comes back in, does the count reset or no?
Valid.
Depends on what you want to do in the match.
Depends who the referee is. Depends on who's in the match. Yeah.
Medeja kicks Goldberg's arm, but Goldberg powers up. He then gets Steiner on his shoulders, and I don't know if he meant to drop him like on his like face or neck or like crotch him, but Steiner just opts for none of these and just fucking almost dies.
Yeah, it just kind of drops him. Period.
He drops him, and then Steiner's like, I'm up. Clotheslines Goldberg. I'm like, what?
I think that there was a miscommunication on like what was supposed to happen here. That's the best I can think of.
He puts Goldberg on the top rope. Goldberg fights off Steiner, then gets hit with a baseball bat and a pipe by Medeja and Russo.
Fucking Russo.
And Scott Steiner then hits a terrifying looking overhead top rope belly to belly. And I don't really know how Goldberg lands. Like, I thought you were a little fucked up here because on the count, referee Mickey J like visibly pulls his shoulder up.
Oh, yeah. I think like... Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what happened here because, like, yeah, it was very clear that the ref pushed his shoulder up. Like, no, you kicked the fuck out.
He does like the checking the shoulders after two and like clearly lifts his hand. Like,
he did it in the most subtle possible way, though. It wasn't like Booker where it was like, oh, we need to change how commentary's talking because very clearly Booker is on the side of the person he didn't think he was.
Well, my thought was, okay, well, the next spot is the Steiner recliner and he's going to win via like him passing out.
Nope.
So it's like, he has to make it 30 more seconds. They do the Steiner recliner, and I go, oh, okay, makes sense. No, Goldberg fucking powers out again. And I'm like, wait, what? He sends Steiner to the outside. Steiner grabs a chair, but in the ring walks into a swinging neck breaker. Goldberg wants a spear, gets distracted by Vince Russo again, and then Steiner hits a pipe shot, locks in a Steiner recliner, and Goldberg is knocked out. So 3
Steiner recliners.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, the submission moves is always a little more relative of like how well can you get locked in and power and how long. But like,
I don't know. I feel like the Steiner recliner, I'm trying to compare it to Benoit's submission. The name is
crossface.
The crossface. For some reason, the multiple times you lock in the crossface is more effective. Like the recliner, I guess it's just like the way that he's selling it. It just like doesn't seem as forceful.
The recliner, accurately called that, it's a bit lazy.
Yeah, maybe it's that. But it's also like the stank that Benoit puts on the crossface that's like, I'm fucking powering with all my might to knock you out.
Yeah, like it feels like you got lucky to get out of the previous ones. And then, I guess just before we get to all of it. Post-match, Russo celebrates like a fucking twat. And the Buffalo Bills come in to help Goldberg because he played for the Falcons.
Yeah, my NFL brother.
Overall thoughts on this match, because people love this match.
Oh, I don't love it.
I mostly like it, but the interference spots just got so repetitive.
Honestly, I enjoyed it until Russo came out.
I'm even fine with him coming out. But him coming out doing 3 interference spots, I'm like, just do the one. Just do the one, the match is better off.
Yeah, I think if it had just been one, that'd be fine. Maybe like later in the match. But I feel like when it was just the two of them, it was better. When it was just Steiner and Goldberg, it was better.
Agree. And I'm going to say something that's going to sound contradictory. Despite getting a bunch of help, it almost didn't seem like Scott Steiner needed it. Which I thought he looked great in this match in that. Yeah. Where it's like, anytime Steiner got help, it was like, nothing has actually happened yet. So Steiner could still counter it. It wasn't like Goldberg had him pinned. Oh, let's pull something out of the ring. Mm-hmm. It was, okay, Goldberg might try for something. Let's hit Goldberg. So like, I thought Steiner came out of this looking really good. I mean, look, only a handful of people have beaten Goldberg. I think it's Nash, Brett, and Booker. I think that's it to this day.
Listen, babe, I know what you're doing. I'm not picking Steiner for my MVP.
I don't know if he's mine, but
I'm not doing it. You're setting up a case. I can feel it. It's not happening.
Based on our next ad, we know who the MVP will be for our next pay-per-view.
Oh, God.
We get a Halloween Havoc ad, which is just a Sting ad. Like, Sting will transform at Halloween Havoc.
Reborn at Halloween Havoc.
I know he doesn't become Surfer Sting here again, so I don't fucking know what they're going to do.
We'll fucking see it. Halloween Havoc. I can't believe Halloween Havoc is next month. That's insane.
Let's move on. Backstage, Pamela Paul-Shock is with Booker T. Booker says that Nash has made the main event a cage match, which I'm trying to figure out exactly what was meant by this, because the Cat made this a cage match, but then but they also refer to this as caged heat. And so God. It's like, oh, at one point during the match, commentary's like, oh, they made this the smaller cage, not the bigger cage. So I'm going to try not to fixate on that.
Okay. It seemed like Booker was confused who booked this match.
Yeah, but Booker has a new phrase for tonight in terms of his beef with Kevin Nash. Don't start none, there won't be none.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
He promises to win the match, and it's like good kind of nothing fiery babyface promo.
He's been saying the same promo for like the last couple of weeks, though.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
I thought he had better fire here.
I don't know. I disagree. It was the same fire. It's been the same for weeks.
But that brings us to our main event. It is Kevin Nash versus Booker T for the WCW title inside a steel cage. And Emily, who's inside the steel cage?
It's Michael Buffer time.
He's here.
It's Michael Buffer time.
You know, admittedly, I was not sure if he was going to show up post Hogan.
That's a good point.
Now, watch this just be wrong and he was on New Blood Rising and we missed it.
I don't think he was. I don't remember. So
yeah, it is a normal cage match, although no one tries to escape, so I don't know if that's an option or not.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash comes out in Outsiders gear, and holy fuck, we get it, my guy.
You have a friend. We get it. You got a buddy.
Commentary even talks about it like he's probably trying to fucking bring Scott Hall back.
Yeah, no kidding.
Even they're exasperated.
Yeah, no shit. But he gets in the cage, immediately just goes for one of the turnbuckles and starts untying it. Like, not trying to be subtle, not trying to like
sure
hot
hiding
dog.
something or... Yeah.
But he doesn't go to the center of the ring and be like, yeah, I'm Kevin Nash. He just like immediately beelines to that turnbuckle. Like, if you were trying to be subtle, you're failing drastically.
But also it's no DQ, so what does it matter?
That too.
Yeah. Booker T comes out. He's announced being from Harlem, USA.
Which you said gave you
fucking Southtown, you're without a Santa Claus vibes. Match starts. Nash overpowers Booker, throws him into the ropes, and Booker hits the ropes so hard he fucking hits the cage. Like, it didn't seem like a spot. It was like, oh shit. Nash works Booker over in the corner, shocker, and Booker dodges the framed up elbow. Nash gets his boot up in the corner, and we get a Paul Orndorff update. It's like just a stinger. He's talking, but he hasn't walking yet. But
so stinger, I was very confused by what they meant by a stinger because I think a stinger splash. It's like,
no,
what do you mean it's a stinger?
It's like a sports medical term. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nerve thing. This is also where they kind of established where
Nash hits a sidewalk slam and exposes the steel turnbuckle, kind of showing what he was doing. Because I thought it was hiding a weapon. Like, oh no,
he was just untying it.
He goes for snake eyes on that turnbuckle, but Booker counters and pushes Nash stomach first into it.
What a fool.
We get a scoop slam, a Harlem USA sidekick, and a scissor kick.
Don't fucking.
We get a very sad Spinaroonie call from Mark Mass. Like,
Spinaroonie!
I don't wanna.
Oh, Spinaroonie!
Nash powers out of a bookend. We get a big boot and a choke slam, and no cover at first, but a eventual one, and Booker kicks out. Man, you think he'd hold that power to be hit with a big move and kick out, like almost a minute later.
Huh. You'd think. You would fucking think.
Nash throws Booker's face into the cage, and Booker powers up, throws Nash's head into the exposed turnbuckle.
Nash, when will you fucking learn he who sets it up takes the bump, brother?
And when will Camera learn to maybe don't linger on Kevin Nash putting his hands to his head in the corner?
Oh, yeah. There is a very obvious blade job going on over there.
Like, we don't cut to the angle of him blading, but, like, we just hold on him in the corner like, oh, I'm doing something.
We didn't need to cut to the angle. It was still clear.
Commentary notes, like, oh, it's weird to see him bleed. Like, yeah, he probably doesn't bleed all that often.
No, probably not. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that, like, goes for the blood spot. I think he's a little too narcissistic.
Okay, sorry, just the middle of the match. I don't know what else to mention. A great clip I saw of him in early days TNA, where he's with the X Division and just Paparazzi Productions and all that, and he's being a judge for some reason, and he's like, "Hey, look, I know you all were worried about there being a hung jury, but all you got to worry about is there being a hung judge. Hey, order!" And he goes to leave the segment, and he like turns around, and it's just him in an open robe and his ass cheeks out in the back. I think I broke heavily.
I can't decide if I hate this
I know! He's so hard to figure out.
I really can't decide if I love or hate Kevin Nash. I swear it'll be one of those, like, I'll run into him at like a meet and greet at an event or something, and in that moment I'll decide, do I fucking hate you or not?
Will you sign my lasagna? Anyway.
Sign my bottle of wine.
Booker rakes Nash's face across the cage. Goes for a 10-punch spot, but gets dropped from the top rope.
Sign my lasagna.
Then there's a match, please. Nash goes for a jackknife, but Booker counters using the cage, hits a missile dropkick. Nash hits a big clothesline and goes to pin Booker. Booker kicks out, but Nash's shoulders are down the entire time. It's like, oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Nash low blows Booker, hits another big boot. He then gets him out, goes to the jackknife. Booker slips out on the way up, hits a bookend, and pins Kevin Nash clean.
I will say, like, the match itself was, like, I think fine up to this point, but the crowd did not give a fuck. Like, they looked so bored, and like throughout the match you could see the crowd like thinning. The seats on the hard cam were actively empty.
Yeah, it being in a cage helped you not see people leaving.
I think it was just one of those, like, you know what, fuck it, do you care? I don't care, let's go beat traffic.
For the record, by the way, this is title change 21 of the year 2000,
Jesus.
Not counting Hulk Hogan's Phantom title win.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I thought this was an enjoyable match, but like nothing too crazy. Like, it being the main event, I'm like, okay.
It being the main event on a pay-per-view, I feel like that was giving it too much gusto.
And I think they wanted this to be a bigger moment for Booker. Like, him losing and then re-winning it, like, I just didn't feel like this big triumphant thing I think they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see the title back on him.
For as fleeting of a moment as I'm sure it will be.
I'm like, I don't think we have that many title changes left. Fuck, Russo has to win the title before he leaves. Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have less than a month. Like, Booker's not going to have this for very long.
We have 3 Nitros.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And then I get to read rope opera.
Yeah. Emily mentioned rope opera.
Let's go.
Let's break the news here. Why not?
Break the news.
Yeah, so the Monday after this episode comes out, you will be able to listen to our review of Controversy Creates Cash by Eric Bischoff on the Patreon.
Yes, it's our first installment into the butts in the books, the
reading rain bits.
The booty biblioteca.
We're working on the name.
We'll put a poll.
We haven't recorded it yet, so we have until then. Yeah, it'll be the Monday after WrestleMania, which, by the way, we will have a WrestleMania episode on that Wednesday. But shortly thereafter, we're going to finish the TNA stuff, but we will be doing Vince Russo's book at some point soon on the Patreon.
Rope opera, not the one where he finds God.
He finds God in both, but it's more prominent in
The first
Forgiven.
one. Yeah, I'm not reading Forgiven. I didn't know that Forgiven existed until like a week ago.
Yeah, but that's then. This is now. Any final thoughts on the main event?
No, I mean, I don't think that it was worthy of the spot that it got.
Yeah, but like, there also was nothing on this show that I was like, well, that should have made event.
No, you're right.
But thoughts on this show as a whole?
I feel like I didn't hate it as much watching it as I kind of hated it and re-talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the problem with WCW lately. This is their best show in months.
Oh, agreed. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Like, this is significantly better than New Blood Rising, than Bash at the Beach, like
Great American Bash.
Like, they have not had a good show.
I have to think back about the other shows before that.
Ugh.
I remember us not super hating Spring Stampede.
I don't remember it well enough at this point.
Yeah, Slamboree had our David Arquette main event, but...
God. Yeah, they needed a win. And I don't know that I would call this a win, but it is not a detrimental loss.
Yeah, it's the best show. It's not saying
it's
much,
not good, but it's not the worst.
It did feel like it maybe set up something in the future. Like, it does seem like we are definitely headed towards Booker T versus Scott Steiner. And I'm like, okay, it's two new talent, but...
Yeah, I guess.
The problem is we know we have Russo winning the title in between.
Do we care about Booker Scott Steiner?
Even Booker beating Kevin Nash, he still doesn't feel the most elevated.
No.
But I think we've kind of said our full piece about this show. Let's close it out with best bit, worst bit, and MVP. Emily, what do you have for your best bit?
I think it's like agreed upon between the two of us that the first two matches on the show were the best. I gave my best bit to the opening match because I did not like the interference in either the second match or the Goldberg-Steiner match. So I gave it, weirdly enough, to Kwee-Wee and Elix Skipper.
For both, there is no interference in the second match, but it's all people in the match. But I am actually giving my best bit to 3 Count versus MIA.
That was a good match.
The fact that the match made me go, I'm going to stop taking notes. I just want to watch the end of this. Like, I was into it. And admittedly, both of these matches... Nitro gave us no fucking reason to enjoy these matches, and we still did.
That's true, and I think that says a lot.
Yeah, credit to everybody in those matches. All right, Emily, what is your worst bit?
Oh, God.
There's two options.
I gave it to Harris Chronic.
Oh, okay.
What did you give it to?
The scaffold match.
I don't think that was long enough or bad enough to be the worst bit. I feel like Harris Chronic was just, like, insulting. I don't know. I
should get more of a rush out of seeing people throw from a scaffold, and I just didn't care.
Yeah, but does that make it the worst?
But we didn't even know that Shane Douglas was like, if no one gets thrown, I'm gonna fucking refund everybody, you bitch.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did not say that.
I had higher hopes for that one. Chronic versus the Nazis. What'd you expect? And I know we've probably used that in the other way, but still.
They made it a first blood match last second, and then they didn't, like... strive to make each other bleed. They just had a fucking match. Like, they had chains. They could have easily made each other bleed right away, and they just fucking didn't.
Look, it's one or the other. I don't blame you for picking the one, but I'm doing scaffold match.
That's valid. Who did you pick as MVP? Because I was...
Yeah, it's a tough one, because, like, no one individual really stands out in any of these. Like, even Kwee-Wee and Elix Skipper, I don't look at either of them and go...
I wouldn't.
You joked that I was laying out my case. I think I was laying out for myself. I think the guy who gained the most from this show and gained the most value was Scott Steiner. He beat Goldberg. He looked good in his match, did some cool stuff. And, like, if you put him in any legitimate spot tomorrow, I buy it. So, I don't know. Maybe not the best reasoning, but his match was good. Him nor Goldberg were not the reason that we didn't like their match. It was Vince Russo.
You're correct. While I do agree with you, and I do think that your reasoning is sound, I have a streak, and I cannot give it to...
Come on!
I can't do it this week.
You know what?
It's not good enough.
Not for this.
I don't say that, like, it'll be a no for the rest of my life, but at this point, I have a streak that I must maintain, so it is not Scott Steiner.
Who is it then?
I give it to Gene.
I fucking knew it. Blow it out your ass.
Gene was on another level tonight. He was so cursy. He was so, I don't give a fuck about you or anybody that you love. And I was like, you know what? Yes, Gene. That's my guy.
I wish Tony Atlas had shown up. He would have had none of it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. But,
well, we did it.
We did it. We got through Fall Brawl, finally.
I feel like we've been working to get here for so long.
Yeah, but don't worry. We have a nice fucking long build to the next pay-per-view, too. Another 6-week build. And on top of that, we do have an ECW show in here as well. We are going to do the ECW show slightly out of order.
Okay.
Because it's the night before Russo leaves, and it just the cliffhanger of the final Russo Nitro. I'm like, we got to do it. We just got to do ECW afterwards.
Fair. We got to rip that Band-Aid off.
But if you want to listen to all of our back catalog of Russo and ECW shows, you can everywhere podcasts are found, except for SoundCloud, but mostly Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
You can also follow us on all of our social media at Butts in the Seats Podcast on Facebook and Butts in the Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky.
Yep, we will likely be doing something on somewhere for WrestleMania live tweeting on top of our WrestleMania episode, which will be out the Wednesday after, because we record on Monday, edit on Tuesday, and release on Wednesday.
Nick mentioned it before, but if you feel so inclined to support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/butts-in-the-seats, $5 a month gets you roughly 30 bonus episodes over there.
The Eric Bischoff episode will be number 30, but we also have the Vince McMahon episode. So there already are 30 pieces of audio content, plus Emily's WrestleMania roundups.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, I will be on WrestleMania 21, ideally 22 if I'm there.
Stop promising.
Dude, it's so long. It takes so fucking long. I did not anticipate them taking so long.
But Emily hasn't even seen Big Show versus Akibono yet.
Oh, no. I don't even know who Akibono is.
Exactly.
Yikes.
Oh, but I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Butts in the Seats podcast. Emily, any final thoughts?
No, I'm happy to be done with this. I feel like this is just a looming shadow.
Yeah, these 6-week builds, it's too long.
Remember when we used to do, like, abbreviated builds?
4 years ago?
Yeah,
yes.
remember those were the days.
You got to suffer through each one, but on behalf of a very impatient Autobahn Ruthless, I'm Nick.
I'm Emily.
And thank you for listening to this episode of the Butts in the Seats podcast.
Bye.